What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another session tutorial. We're doing a tutorial, another tips for new players video. I haven't done one of these tips videos in a minute. It used to be called session tips for XL players, session tips for Skater XL players, but we're changing the name, session tips for new players. And we got a whole bunch of tips to go over for a lot of new people that started playing session. And our first two tips was actually requested by one of my viewers, so appreciate that for your input. Says, thanks for these tutorials, would love to see more. There's a lot of moves, even basic ones, I find difficult doing. Could you do a tutorial going over controls to do frontside, backside, 360 ollies? I assume that's on Flatground. And also how to pop shove in and out of grinds. So I'm gonna just go over entirely how to just flip in and out of grinds and how to do 360 ollies on flat. Okay, so we're in game here. Got my character, got my skateboard here, my near automata, got my Tyshans. Shout out Tipidus. I think we're just going to start off with shoving in and out of grinds. We're going to do a bunch of flip tricks. A few things I do want to go over here. We're going to take a look at our grind settings. So if you go to options, gameplay, and grind settings, two things I want to point out. I use no release. And I think like no release is probably the best way to have your grind settings. So if you look at no release, input does not have to be released after popping a trick in order for weight to be applied to the desired foot or feet for all types of grinds. Awesome. And then another thing here is trick relative. So with trick relative on, when on a grind, all inputs for tricks become relative to the direction the input was when starting the grind. So the trick is relative to the position that the nose of your board is, pretty much. With trick relative off, no matter what grind, slide, or input, the trick remains the same, whether on ground or on a grind. So essentially what that means for trick relative is that with it on, all your grinds become relative to the direction your nose is facing. So with trick relative input on, if I were to get into a nose slide, I would have to press up on my foot to do a nollie flip. I would press up on my back foot. Can't land into tricks apparently. As soon as I started doing tutorials, I can't land into any of my tricks. There you go. So if you looked at my controller, you should see that I actually had to press down to get to do my nollie heel. So down on the back foot to do the nollie heel. That was a really messy landing there. And the same with the tail, it's going to be different. So if I move my foot to the right to get into the tail slide, I'm gonna have to press down to do a kick flip out. Like that. Call it wrong direction, but you should get the just there. So let's say I want to shove out of a tail slide. With trick relative input on, you can do that, and you just not do a hard flip. You just scoop and then let it out. And the way that works is that, remember, my nose is to the left, so I'm gonna pop with my front foot to the left to come out. I want to do the shove. I'm gonna scoop and pop to the left, and you should pop out. Now let's say you're doing a Smith grind. A Smith grind is a little bit different. You do have to let go of one of the inputs. So this is my input for the Smith grind. You see that? You should see my controls. I'm gonna scoop, and I have to catch into the Smith, and then I can scoop right back out. You're going to go into your Smith, and then for a split second you're going to scoop, and then you're going to flick up on your front foot. So I'm going to do that again for you. I'm going to go into the Smith, scoop, and up on the foot. You have to let go of your side foot input for this to work properly. So let's say you want to do this for a board slide. Go into your board slide input, scoop, and then pop out. I keep doing it with the back foot. I want to get it clean. No, that was terrible. So for your lip slide, you're just going to go into the lip slide input, scoop, go out, not land it. Of course. Let's try one more time. Scoop. There you go. You pop directly out of it. And you can do this with any trick. So let's say I do that with the tray flip. So that's how you flip in and out of grinds. Now there is one more way you can do it, and you could just rotate into your grind. So for me personally, I just pop my ollie, rotate with the trigger. I'm in my grind, so I don't have to change my input at all. And I can still kickflip using the same input method you would for an on grind kickflip. Rotate into the tail slide. I can heel flip with the same input method I would if I was on flat. Okay, so next up for 360ing on flat ground, doing 360s, full body rotation 360s. With default settings, and right now my rotation rate is near default. It is 1 notch above default with the friction 1 notch below default. But I still can't really do a full 360 on flat ground. Now, one way you can get around this is you can just turn your body rotation rate up, and you'll be able to do it no problem. But if you don't want to do that, you can tweak your feet in midair right before you land, and that will help you. Now, if you've played Skater XL before, this should be familiar to you. So what I'm going to do for a backside 360 on flat, I'm going to rotate and I'm going to tweak my front foot to the right. For front side, I'm just going to tweak my front foot to the left. Just like that. And you can see it actually changes the way the ollie looks as well. So you can see it's a little more dipped. So you can do this with your back foot as well. So if I want to do this with my back foot, you tweak your back foot now to the left. Let's do it again. I seem to be messing up a little bit. That's okay. There you go. And that actually looks different too than when I use the front foot. And then for a front side 360 on flat, you're just going to tweak your back foot to the right. Just like that. And you see how the foot dips down because you're controlling your back foot. If you want to not have that dip at all or anything, you can just use both sticks to control your feet, and it will control it right correctly. So if you already know your inputs for lip slides and board slides, those are the inputs you're going to use to do these 360s. So we're going to check out a backside one and just check out my controller to see the inputs. And it looks just like that. Now we can do it front side, and again, just check out the inputs on the controller to see what's up. That was a little messy. We could try one more time. And it just takes a little bit of timing, but what you really want to do is just tweak your feet at the last possible second, and it'll work for you. The final way you can rotate your 360s is by completing the rotation with a reverb. Really, really easy and simple. Just follow my controller. You're mainly just going to use your triggers to do this. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is the final thing, is the ability to move objects in game around the map. And you could just do this with the object dropper we already have in game. You don't have to buy anything. You can just move stuff around the map freely. So if we go into there and go into selecting mode, you see this bench here. This can be moved and manipulated and placed anywhere in the game for you to skate. So it's already right here. I think this is a horrible spot for me to put it, but let's go ahead and try to get this. And there are tons of objects like this around the game for you to just like move around. All the benches in Love Park in Philly, you're able to do this with. Boom, boom. Oh, we did it. Oh, he popped over. A little shifty there. But yeah, you can move these benches. There's a bunch of stuff just hidden here that you're able to move as well. Lots of obstacles. Go into selecting mode. Go hover over this. Move this out of the way. This little flat bar here, this round bar, can move this. The ramp, this white bar is able to be moved. So this trash can here, this can be moved. This bench, let's say you want to get a line up these stairs, you can move this bench out of the way, move it over here if you want. So lots of things can be moved around the game without having to like actually look at the object dropper items. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope the way you can actually manipulate the environment around you. This trash can here, this can be moved somewhere to be an obstacle. You can move it right there. Then we can come over here and, I don't know, maybe get a trick. And there we go, we got a trick over it. So yeah, this trash can can be totally moved. Just a lot of things. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe for more. Hope to see you in the next video. Join the Twitter as well. Always posting updates on the Twitter when I drop new videos, so you can stay updated on the Twitter as well if you don't have the YouTube notifications turned on. It's a great way to stay updated. See you guys in the next video. Peace.